はい、皆さんこんにちは。インターナショナルエデュケーションラボです。本日はこのゲストの方にお越しいただきます。Mr. Matt, thank you very much. Thank you very much. そうです。マット先生イコールノースロンドン神戸の初代校長先生としてお越しいただきました。ここ今図が出てるようにノースロンドン神戸のキャンパス出てます。すごい綺麗な校舎ができるということで楽しみになってます。ちょっとまた質問したいんですけど、ノースロンドン神戸が開校するイコール 100% の状態で開校するとイメージされると思うんですよ。で、学校って多分生き物なので、100% の完成度でドンと初年度行くっていうイメージは持ってないんですね。100% の、理想とする理想像に向かって、試行錯誤しながらこう初年度開校して 70%、80%、90% に上がっていく、ずっと永遠と向上していく生き物なのかなと思うんですけども、先生としてはその初年度開校時点でもう結構もううちはもうドーンとできてるよ、もうドーンと任しときやって感じなのか、きちんと一緒にみんな入って親御さんは初年度要するにパートナーとして一緒にやっていきましょう。どういう感じで開校されるんですか？
I think all of those things are so important and so interwoven together. I think going back to sort of answers to earlier questions, we want the children to feel really happy and really safe. We want them to be challenged every day. We want them to feel that learning is fun, learning is difficult, and one of our philosophies as a school is that just learning stuff is fine. We don't need to learn for tests and exams. Learning interesting things about the world and things in different subjects is really important. And already we're very lucky in that we have a curriculum to work with from one of the other North London schools that we're adapting to the environment here. We're lucky that we're in our building and we can see it's just a fantastic place to learn. It's bright, it's energetic. We all love working in it, and whenever I show parents around that, they just love the building. And then in terms of the culture, that will be down to me and the teachers getting that right through assemblies where we all come together, through our behaviour policy, through how we reward children for good behaviour and doing the right things, and those will be the things that we'll work on in the first year. And the great thing about being in a group like North London is that every 6 to 8 weeks some teachers from London will come over and make sure that we're keeping the standards high. And I think that's quite different to lots of other international schools in that we have these regular check-ins with London, making sure that we're meeting the standards that they expect, but also what our parents expect, and most importantly what the children in the classroom deserve.
ありがとうございます。そうするとやっぱりだんだん見えてくるのが入学試験なんですね。で、実際にこの学校にこれだけマット先生にも会いたいという方たくさんいらっしゃると思うんですけども、会いたいし、そういう先生方にお会いしたいと。じゃあどんな生徒を募集するのか。一般的にあまり出ないのかもしれないんですけども、ノースロンドン神戸さんに志願する方、その場合はどのようなテストをして、どのような採点基準があるのか、ちょっと教えていただけないでしょうか。大丈夫、私小耳に教えていただければ流れないので。
Yeah, absolutely. So we are an academically selective school. We use admissions tests from the University of Durham. CAT4 is a cognitive ability test, and students have to score a certain score, basically to be in the top 25% of ability. And then we do PTE, a progress test in English. PTM, a progress test in maths. So there's an English test, a maths test, and then I meet all the students. All the students do an interview with me, and in that I'm testing their English, but I'm also wanting to see what interests them. You know, we want sparky kids. We want kids that question things. We want kids that don't take things at face value, and that want to explore academic areas. We want kids that are interested in sport and drama and music. So that interview is really important. And I ask the children, what are your hobbies? What's the last book you've read? Just to try and understand them. And even little 4 and 5-year-olds, maybe a little bit older, 5 and 6-year-olds, answer the questions, and I say to them, what would you invent? And I've had children say, I'd invent medicine. I'd invent food that keeps everybody full. I also had one lovely little girl that said she would invent a Louis Vuitton handbag machine so she could have as many handbags as possible, and that's brilliant. It just what a great answer, you know. It shows some creativity there as well. So we like children with a little bit you know, a little bit of personality, and yeah, and the reason why we do admissions tests isn't an English test isn't to be cruel. We have a certain expectation of our teachers to teach at a certain level, and we want children that are going to be able to understand those lessons, and that's why the English test is so important. So we have lots of very, very able children that want to join us but can't because their English isn't good enough, and the reason why we sort of make that reason is because the children have to understand the teachers, and we teach in English. Our language of instruction is English. So we teach Japanese to a high standard, but everything is taught in English apart from the Japanese. So that's the reason why we have those admissions tests.
先生のバックのお話を含めてちょっとこうやっぱりそういう好奇心のあること、やっぱりもちろん英語と学力、そしてそういう主体性を持った生徒さんというのがやっぱり重要になってくるんでしょうか。
And I think it may be worth adding that there's always a financial pressure on schools to accept children, and we have decided at the start that we will hold our academic standards, and so we would rather have a smaller school with children that have reached an academic standard than have a bigger school where we've reduced those academic standards, because that isn't what our parents are paying for, it isn't what North London Collegiate School expects, and it isn't the same, it would be different to the other schools that hold those standards as well. So we do hold those standards, we do turn children away, and it's always difficult to do that, but I think for our school as an education institution, it's really important to hold those standards.
ね、珍しいそういうしっかり学校の予算を含めてお話しされる校長先生ってあんまりいないので、なんかとても分かりやすいですね。そういうなんか校長先生としてもある意味その経済的なジレンマもあるっていうのをはっきり言う方って珍しいと珍しいなと思うんですね。
Yeah, absolutely. North London as a group do research before they decide where to build schools, and we were quite happy with the research that we did in terms of the market and the need in the area for a school like ours. And we're not having problems with recruiting students. What's lovely about working in Japan is we're finding that most of the students put forward do have the ability to get into the school. So our acceptance rate when we look across the group of schools is quite high, because parents are putting through children who are able, who they know will meet the admissions criteria. So it's yes, that we have to say no to some children, but actually we're quite happy with our recruitment and with our founding families. We're really excited about them and the children and the impact they're going to have.
まあお話が出る中でそのポテンシャルのある生徒さんが集まってくる中で、やっぱり親御さん聞きたいのはやっぱりノースロンドンっていうのも IB の点数が高いと、一般的に言うと世界トップな学校なわけですよ。そこが入ってくるイコール親御さん IB の点が勝手に行くと、勝手にこう学校がしてくれると思うところあると思うんですよね。エスカレーター式に幼小中高で全部やってくれると。果たしてそこはどうなんでしょう。やっぱりこう日本の親って学校に対してこう預けてしまうのもうおしまいっていうところなんですけど、ノースロンドンカレッジ神戸さんはどうなんでしょう。もっとこう親がどう関わるべきなのか、ただその親ができるのは塾に通わせることなのか、なんかそういう何かどんな学び方になるんでしょう。
So our philosophy at North London Collegiate School is that we will teach the students we have to give them the best grades possible. As a school, we don't believe in cram schooling. We don't believe that students need to be working hours after school. We believe that with the children that we accept into the school and the quality of our teaching, we will get those children exceptional results. Now, that's not to say that sometimes children will struggle. Children are young people, and what's so wonderful about working with them is they're all different, they all develop at different rates, they all have things they're good at and not so good at. So it might be that we do have to do clubs to help them catch up in English or maths, or help them, give them a little bit more time to finish an art project. But we do that within our school, we do that within the quality of our teaching, and myself and my senior team, we know the children as individuals, but we also know their potential, because when we do the CAP 4 tests, it predicts what they should be getting in the future. And so what I'm able to do is look and make sure those children are going on the pathway that they're supposed to. And if they're not, we get to put interventions in place. So yes, Japanese families can leave it to us to look after the children and make sure that they do well. But the children do need to work hard. And sometimes we will call families in and say, you know, your child isn't working hard enough. Please can you support us to make sure that they're doing a little bit more? But our philosophy as a school is to have lessons and teachers that are of good enough quality. And I suppose the final thing to say is, from what I've picked up, and please tell me if I'm wrong, there is a lot of focus in Japan and other countries about just the exam. The children must get that point or that score to go there. And our philosophy as a school is learning should be more fun than that. Learning should be about learning things for the sake of knowledge, because knowledge is so powerful. And so we want the children to be going beyond any exam syllabus, and you know, if they like Shakespeare, then reading loads of different Shakespeare plays, because that's what they're interested in. And we want our teachers to have the freedom to do that, not just because these two books are on a syllabus that they have to learn. So I think for us as a school, it's really important to go beyond the examinations and to give children, young people, a real love of learning. And then that's how they do so well, and then they go to the best universities in the world.
Love learning っておっしゃいました。すごい素敵な言葉ですね。試験っていうよりか、その全人教育って、IB って全人教育って言われるアカデミックな学びと、物事に対する姿勢であったり、それから融合したものっていうのが多分今先生のお話で見えてくるんですね。で親としてはじゃあその学校に寄り添うっていうんですかね、なんか学校の課外授業だったりとか、そういうところでこう一緒にやっていくことが結局子どもの学びだったり気づきだったり全体にこういい影響を及ぼすっていうイメージでそのままいいんでしょうか今。
And we in England, a lot of time after school, children go and do other things. They go and do sports or drama or music, and for their mental well-being, that's really good. I find it difficult that children can do a full day in school and then go and work till late at night and still learning. I think sometimes there's a point for that during exam years. Maybe that's important, but actually for a lot of time, children should be playing sport, they should be being with their friends, they should be going out and about and having a nice time. I think that's really important in terms of the balance of life and the balance of people's mental health. It's really important to have those real life friends, not computer game friends, real friends, and real interactions. I think that's so important, and Japan is missing that, the UK is missing that, the world is missing that, and it's important that children have those interactions.
人ありきというか、その人と人とのコミュニケーションから生まれるもの、それやっぱりうちの娘が今 TikTok 見てるぐらいの時間だと思うんで、言ってあげたいですね。
I want them to be rounded. Yeah, I want them to be round. I want them to be happy. I want them to be rounded, and I want them to enjoy different parts of their life.
今日もこうして先生とお話しできることによって、やっぱりそのノースロンドンがいい点数っていうのは先行しちゃうんです。どうしても。いい点数の背景にやっぱりその人と人、そして文化、地域っていうその中で学ぶ生徒さん同士と先生同士のその結びつきがあってからこそっていうのがなんか見えてくるんですね。
Yeah, absolutely, and we do that by giving them opportunities to discover things they may not have done before. I think it's really important in a school that you offer children so many different activities, and some of those things are really different, so that you can so that they have something exciting and interesting to do. And I always use the story that at school I really hated PE, I hated sport, because we were just made to like run around or bounce a basketball. And actually, if someone had introduced me to yoga, all those years ago, I'd have really enjoyed that, and I'd been quite happy to do sport. But I spent the first part of my life hating sport because of PE. So I think it's really important that we give children those opportunities to find something they love.
うわ、素敵ですね、今のお話も。いろんなこう選択肢がある中で、その子に合うものがある。
I hope so. Yeah, absolutely. That's my aim, and the aim for my teachers is to do that, is to offer those clubs and activities so they can do interesting things.
あれですね、早く校舎を見に行きたくてしょうがない、校舎で先生とお会いしたいっていう気持ちがどんどん募ってきますけども。
Oh yeah, you should come.
あ、
Yeah, definitely.
いや、なので今回 マット先生にお話しする機会をいただきまして本当にありがとうございます。 Thank you very much today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
なので、マット先生にお会いになる方はもうぜひノースロンドン神戸さんのこちらのサイトからお申し込みいただいて先生にぜひお会いされてみてください。個人面談も楽しみですね。では次回、またいろいろ現場にお邪魔しながら取材したいと思います。 Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.